Yeah. Good morning, guys. Am I audible? Hello, everyone. This is Indhira from Pantech Learning. I warmly welcome you all to my session. Am I audible, guys? Tahiru, good morning. Vishnu Mohan, good morning. It's me, Ram. Yeah, good morning. Sahib Rao, good morning. Am I audible, everyone? Yeah, thank you for your response. Nagasai, good morning. Manikanta, good morning. Yeah, good morning, all. Okay, first let me start with a question actually. Do you guys have any idea about what is IoT and how it actually works? Do you have any idea about this? What is IoT and how it actually works? You can just drop a single line answer in the chat box. Just one line answer. What is IoT and how it actually works? Or just give me an example of IoT. Any one example. Please drop your answers in the chat box, please. What is IoT? How it actually works? And any one example of IoT. Please drop your answers in the chat box, please. Okay, Venkata, no, madam, but it's okay. What about the remaining members? Do you have any idea about this? Or you can just drop any one example of IoT. It can be anything. Okay. We can use the home appliances with using IoT. Okay. Physical devices which is connected through internet. Yeah, okay. I'm not asking about the abbreviation actually. IoT, Internet of Things, but it's okay. But what is IoT? Or drop any example of IoT. Simply use appliances with IoT and no need to use a physical touch. Okay. Simply use appliances. Okay. Remote fan. Okay. Okay. Let me give an answer for that. Okay. So examples like smart home devices, wearables and health monitors, and like smart cities, connected cars, industrial IoT. There are a lot of examples actually. First, what is IoT? Let me give a short answer for that. IoT actually stands for Internet of Things. So it refers to a network of physical objects, devices, vehicles and other items that embedded with sensors, software and connectivity that allow them to collect and exchange data with other devices and systems over the internet. This is what IoT is called. So how it actually works? So IoT works by connecting devices to the internet or a private network, which allows them to communicate with each other and with the cloud-based applications and services that manage them. This enables the devices to share data or receive instructions and interact with their environment in real time. For example, let's take a smart thermostat in your home that might be connected to the internet and able to communicate with your smartphone, or like weather forecast and other sensors around your home. So, the thermostat can use this data to adjust the temperature automatically. It's saving energy and improving comfort, right? IoT systems typically use a combination of sensors, combination of wireless connectivity, cloud computing, and data analytics to collect and analyze data from multiple sources. So, this data is used to optimize processes. It improves efficiency and create new insights and opportunities for businesses and individuals alike. So now let's see. Many companies are using IoT in a wide range of industries actually. Here are some, I just draw few companies here. So if you take like Amazon uses IoT to power its Echo and Alexa devices, which allow users to control like smart home devices with voice commands, right? And coming to GE, General Electric, it uses IoT to monitor and analyze data from industrial equipment, such as like jet engines and wind turbines to optimize performance and reduce maintenance cost. And coming to Tesla uses IoT in its electric vehicles to collect data and performance and like driving habits, which is used to improve vehicle design and software. And coming to IBM uses IoT technology to develop solutions for smart cities and like healthcare and supply chain management among other areas. Next, a company which is owned by Google actually produces like smart home devices such as thermostats, cameras and smoke detectors, which are all connected to the internet and can be controlled remotely, right? And coming to Siemens, it uses IoT technology to monitor and control building systems such as heating, ventilation and air conditioning to improve energy efficiency and reduce cost. And now, here, studying IoT can open a wide range of career opportunities in various industries. Here are some areas where you could potentially work after studying IoT. First one is IoT engineer. So you could work as an IoT engineer, designing and developing IoT systems and designing. And coming to data scientist, with expertise in IoT and data analytics, you could work as a data scientist and analyzing data which is collected from IoT devices to derive insights and drive business decisions. Then cyber security analyst. With knowledge of IoT security protocols and risk, you could work as a cyber security analyst, again ensuring the security of IoT networks and devices. And coming to smart home or building specialist, with a focus on IoT for homes and buildings, you could work as a specialist designing and implementing smart home or building systems. An industrial IoT specialist, you could work as an industrial IoT specialist, developing and implementing IoT solutions in manufacturing like oil and gas and other industrial settings I'm talking about. An IoT product manager with knowledge of IoT technologies and like market trends, you could work as an IoT product manager, overseeing the development and launch of the IoT products. So now let's dive into the topic actually. Okay. So first, mobile phones. Our mobile phone have like GPS tracking, mobile gyroscope, adaptive brightness, which is adjusted according to the light falling on it, right? And coming to voice detection and face detection, who identify the user. These are all a lot of features that coming pre-built on the mobile phone. So most of these have a common interaction between them. Let's say one application can use all of these features. It can also have these features in itself being interacting with each other. Let's say based on the GPS location, my brightness could be adjusted, or based on the direction my phone is being held, the brightness in itself can also adjusted as well. So there is a lot features, but when they interact with each other, these features comes together to bring a better system. That anything they can provide individually as such, that what is IoT is, right? Now let's see what is IoT. See, connecting everyday things like embedded with electronics, software and sensors to the internet, that enabling them to collect and exchange data. And where we can connect everyday things which are embedded with either electronic software or sensors to the internet. And this in turn enables us to connect us well as exchange data between these things. Now when I say things, it can be anything and everything. Let's say I have an internet platform where I can collect these things. If I take example of my house, I can connect my lock, I can connect my AC, and I can connect my light, and all this can be managed on the same platform. If I have a platform, I can also connect my car to this. I can keep a track of my speed limit, I can keep a track of my fuel meter, I can also keep a track of my location of the car as well. If there is a collective platform where all these are connected, wouldn't it be great, right? See, for example, say this. If I allow the room temperature to be set at like 25 or 26 degrees Celsius when I reach back home from my office, then according to my car location, my AC would start before 10 minutes I arrive at home. This can be done through the Internet of Things. Now this is just one of the examples. Now let's say tomorrow you come back home. It would be great if I wouldn't even need a key to unlock my door. My home system should be aware that I have come home and should unlock all the doors that are needed. And now this can be done if my mobile and my home devices are connected onto the same platform, which is based on the location of my mobile. I can identify that, so it will automatically unlock the door and let me come in as well, right? So these are some of the real world implications of IoT. These are something that are already happening but going forward. What we need to understand is that when I have a specific component with me, which can do a lot individually, if I can collaborate these components with my system of different components and build a better system, this is what IoT is helping us to. You provide a platform to which all these things are connected through the internet. So, internet becomes the medium through which you are connecting all these components where things to a platform. So now my question is, why do we need IoT? Can anyone, all of you please drop the answers. Why do we need IoT? For your understanding, I just want to know about that. Why do we need IoT? Can you please drop the answers in the chat box? Just give me a one-line answer. Why do we need that? What is the purpose of that? Please drop your answers in the chat box, please. Why do we need IoT? I just want to know about what your understanding on this IoT. Just drop online answers. Why do we need IoT? The purpose of that to make life simple, for comfort, okay? Other than that? Reduce time, okay? To make things easy, okay? What about the remaining members? Fast controlling, okay? Time management, okay? Anything else? Easy and control and commands, okay? Okay. So to get a clear idea about why do we need IoT, let's go with an example. No need of third person. Okay. So see this example. Just imagine that there is a patient at home. He's on constant life support where his status is being checked to a health monitoring system which is present on the cloud. So let's say at a point there is certain issue with respect to his health. And let's say there is some irregularity with his heartbeat, or like his blood pressure is low or so far. So now what happened? Since the system on the cloud is connected to the hospital as well, think about that. Then what would happen? They could get the complete details with respect to the patient, and also the important information with respect to the current situation of the patient as well. We made it aware with respect to what issue exactly the patient facing, as well as enable them to dispatch an ambulance immediately to bring the patient back to the hospital as well. So meanwhile, once the patient has been picked up and brought back to the hospital, there could be prescriptions, there could be medicine, and there could be an operating theatre, right? Made ready in case of an emergency situation as well. So there would be doctors on standby who have complete history of the patient, who have complete details of the present condition of the patient as well. So this reduces a lot of effort and time involved with respect to this. So same things let's take in today's scenario. There has to be someone monitoring this patient's health, and if there is a fluctuation, they need to call the hospital, they need to call and request for the ambulance. And meanwhile, once the ambulance came, they take the patient and they back into the hospital, and again there is a need to a lot of checkups that need to be done because the doctors are not fully aware, and also there is a lot of tests that need to be run, and this in turn creates a law of delay as well, right? In certain emergency case such, if a system can do this, then this is exactly where our future lies in and what we have to definitely move forward to. So see this. Now IoT is basically expanding the interdependence of humans for what? To interact, to contribute and collaborate to the things around us. So now what do I mean by interdependence of human? How do we depend on each other? So we all are interdependent on each other for something or the other, right? If we expand this, the interdependence or to interact, to collaborate and contribute with respect to the different things around us, then we would be building a proper Internet of Things environment. So this would be much safer, secure, effortless and time-saving environment into existence. So that's why we need IoT. So now let's move for the next slide, which is benefits of IoT. So first one is efficient resource utilization. That you could efficiently utilize the resources that are available. If I have smart system which can interact with everything, if it has enough computational power, if it has enough understanding of how things work between each other, then the usage of the resources available will be more efficient as well, right? And coming to minimizing human effort, apart from this, it minimizes the human effort involved. If my system is smart enough to interact with and smart enough to do things that I don't need to get involved with, then my interaction is always going to be minimum. This is same with everyone, and that's one of the major reason why IoT has become popular today. And the concept of smart home is always growing as well in the same perspective. So because if the system in itself is able to do most of my work, then I don't need to put much effort, right? I can relax at home without having to worry about everything. So you gave the examples, all are related to this topics, right? It saves time, it reduces human effort, you don't have to third party to help it, right? And it saves time, exactly. It saves time. If it reduces my human effort, then definitely it is going to save my time, right? Apart from that, if the resources are utilized more efficiently, then again it is going to have a lot more time as well. So any benefit of IoT will in turn help you to save a lot of time as well. So time is one of the major factor that can be saved on the Internet of Things platform. And coming to development of AI through IoT, if I have artificial intelligence platform through which all of this managed and maintained, the personalization and the human touch also comes into the picture, right? Now today, most of us have has a level of interaction with AI or virtual intelligence as well. This could be a personal assist like Siri, or it could be an assistant application like Google Assist. If I have a system where all these components and things are interconnected, then all the security present on each of things is going to get multiplied and it's going to build a much more secure system. And coming to the last one, improved security. Apart from that level of security that we would be integrating to the platform in itself is going to quite huge. So the overall security with respect to everything is going to increase multiple times as well. So this is about the benefits of IoT. Okay, so next slide is features of IoT. So now any technology that is available today has not reached its 100% capabilities, and it always has that gap to grow. So Internet of Things is one of the major technologies in the world today that can help any other technology reach its true and complete potential as well. Now there are mainly three aspects to IoT as to how it works. One is connect. First one is connect. It connects various things to the IoT platform. And second one is analyze. It analyzes the data collected and used it to build business intelligence. Coming to third one, integrate. It integrates various models to improve user experience. So first is the connect aspect. Here basically what you need to work on is you need to ensure that there is a connectivity between all the things around you to the platform. You have to make sure of that, right? Then come to analyze. Now I have my things around me. They each are going to generate some amount of data. So now this data needs to be collected and it needs to be analyzed to build a business intelligence solution. If I have a good insight from the data that is gathered from all of this, then definitely I can call my system as a smart system, right? So finally what happens is, in order to improvise and improve your system, you need to integrate it with various modes to improve the user's experience as well. So let's say there is a personalization module is there, or what can we say, let's say there is going to be an aspect when I can directly connect to my providers. Now this provider can be Amazon or Flipkart, or it could be my retail store that is next to me. And for example, if I have a coffee machine that requires special beans and these beans are not almost complete, then what my system could do is it go to online to Amazon and purchase these beans for me as well. So there is a lot of things I can do. When I integrate this with respect to various models and improve the overall experience to a single user or a group of user on the world itself, right? Okay, so now let's talk about each one of them one by one. Okay, so let's start with connect. So the first stage of connect is device visualization. What you need to do is that you need to standardize the integration of the device to the enterprise platform which is present on the cloud. Now it could be present on a cloud, it could be present on the server, and again it's all going to be connected through the internet. So what I need to do is that I need to ensure that certain level of standard is present on the device so that it can go on and connect to my Internet of Things platform. Okay, so coming to the next one, which is high speed messaging. So what I have done is that I have connected all these devices to my platform. But these devices in turn generate a lot of data, right? And this data is what is going to help us understand better on how we can improve the overall system and help and provide the user with better experience. So for that, we need to have high speed messaging. This basically means that there needs to be a reliable, secure and bi-directional communication channel between the devices and the platform. So not the purpose of it being bi-directional, because you need to control each one of them as well, right? For example, I want to switch on the AC. Then the signal would be going on from the cloud platform to the device. So this is how it works on. Okay, so every communication needs to be reliable. It needs to be secure. It needs to be bi-directional as well. So the next one is endpoint management. Okay, so now third point of connect is endpoint management. You need have to endpoint management. If I don't have an endpoint management, I have established a way with all my devices can connect to my platform. And I also ensure that the data is going to be sent from the devices to the cloud. And the cloud can send back to the devices as well through a secure channel. But if I don't actually identify from which device, which data is coming and how this data has to be processed, then it become a failure or the system this is where endpoint management comes into picture. It basically helps you in managing the device endpoint identity, the metadata and the overall life cycle involved with respect to these things. Coming to the next one, next feature is analyze, and the first thing that you need to do for analyze is what? Stream processing. So if the data coming from the device is not on a real-time basis, there is no use, right? If I tell my system to switch on the AC at my home and by the time I reach there, if my AC is not even turned on, then it's a failure on my system. So real-time analysis of the incoming and outgoing data and must be done. And with respect to different aggregations and it filtering, correlation and processing and so far. And coming to the next one is what? Data enrichment. So this is raw data that is being streamed from all the things. You need to identify which is contextually important information, which is going to be taken forward. So once I have the irrelevant information, then I can even generate composite streams of information, which can be taken ahead for future analysis and understanding as well. This is what your data enrichment process does. Okay, the next one is store. Now in event store, basically any information that you want can be queried and visualized from the vast amount of data which is present on my cloud platform. So now this in turn can also help me to get better insight and analysis. So if I have all the enriched data present on my cloud platform, I have a tool which help me to identify what is needed. It helped me to analyze the data and help me to visualize it and then identify it, and it becomes more useful as well. When I have data coming from different things such as This in turn can also lead to being a collection of big data. Not just a few GB of data, it's going to be a terabytes of data. Because the data generated from the things around us is that vast. And if you're doing it over a period of time, then definitely it's going to grow into a big data domain as well, right? That's about event store. Now coming to the third feature of IoT is integrate. First one is enterprise connectivity. So let's say I have a requirement from my retailer or even an enterprise organization which is present. It could be Amazon, it could be Flipkart or anything as such. Any enterprise organization which provides me a service, if I can connect to them through this platform, then definitely my overall process also easier as well, right? Let's say this is a service provider. Or okay, let's say there is some issue with respect to my electricity. Then it can contact to the corresponding service provider. It can send them a detail and correspondingly they would be dispatched. So this would in turn reduce my effort of having to check the problem, having to call someone, wait for them to come back. All that gets reduced to minimum required effort as well, right? So now, how does this communication happen? How does this communication happen? So for that we have REST API. Once I integrated my REST API with respect to the cloud application and IoT, then communication between the enterprise, communication between the platform and the communication between the things around us can be made more efficient and be easier as well. And coming to the next one is what? Command and control. If I don't have command and control on my platform, then it's awful noise, right? I built a very great environment, something that is quite extraordinary. But if you cannot command it, if I cannot control it as per my requirement, then the system in itself not useful. If I cannot tell my door in a smart home to unlock, when I want it, then it becomes a failure on my part. If I cannot control my AC on my smart home, again it's a failure. So always the major aspect when you integrate with respect to these things, the major things is that you need to ensure there's a huge control on system and you are able to command it as per your requirement. So now this command could either be through a voice based recognition, it could be a message that you can send through your mobile application and so forth as well. So the next topic is IoT architecture. So coming to an architecture, we can break it down to a simple 3-level architecture where we have a perception layer. When it gather information from the environment around it, once it's done, I'm going to pass this information to the network layer. Network layer in itself takes up the responsibility of transferring this data from the sensors to next layer, which is application layer. Here the main objective of the responsibility is the application in itself. It delivers the information to the end user or the end platform. So this architecture can be expanded to a 5-layer architecture. It is quite similar here. Let's see. So it is the difference mostly come around with the respective to like processing layer, transport layer and business layer. So where we had 3 layers doing the earlier task, I am talking about perception layer and application layer. We have just broken this down so that we have easier operation or a smoother system. So now the perception layer remains same. It gathers information from the sensors. And coming to transport layer, the transport layer actually transports the data between sensors to the processing center. It could be through a wireless system, it could be through Bluetooth, it could be through like RFID, 3G or any medium that I choose to. And coming to processing layer, Once the information is transmitted, then the processing layer comes into picture, which actually stores the relevant information, analyzes it, and again process it as per the user's requirement. So now again, this could employ various databases, cloud computing services, as well as big data processing modules. So to store this information, as well as process it for further matter. Once this is done, I give the information to the application layer. So which is actually responsible for delivering superior services to the end user for that matter. And now top all of this stands your business layer. Now any device for that matter, when it's working on a large scale environment, a business layer is used here. So now let's say I'm working in an organization where we're using multiple pumps for different features in different locations for that matter. Your business layer here actually monitors the complete functioning of these parts. You can also have these in various cars as well. So what I would note here is, if a car is going to break down, then also I get awareness with respect to that individual car. And it also help me enable or help me reach out to the closest customer care center so that I can assist the user. So this is all about the architecture. Coming to the next topic, which is applications of IoT. IoT in everyday life, IoT in healthcare, IoT in smart cities, IoT in agriculture, IoT in industrial automation, IoT in disaster management. So let's see, first one is IoT in everyday life. Let me give you an example of how IoT can service in our daily life. Consider a home appliance such as AC. Currently what you do is that you go home and turn on your AC and wait for it to reach a certain temperature that you like, about like 25 or 26 degrees Celsius. Does anybody see any problem here? Any problem here? No, right? This is a perfectly a function setting. But what if it could be better? What if when your car is 5 minutes away, your AC received a message? What if it was connected to a cloud which had a dashboard and containing all the relevant information like the location of your car, the outside temperature, and the temperature at which you would like to your room? Your AC could turn on before you arrived and create an ambience that you like. This is all about IoT. And coming to healthcare, for example, let's take working of a smart care device. A care device has certain parameters that are considered safe. Once one of them is breached, the sensor immediately releases the message via secured gateway to the cloud. Now it is vital for this gateway to be secure, as it holds all your value and medical record. The cloud then passes a remote signal to a smart device. Then this is a monitor by either by a nurse or a caretaker at home. So the beauty of remote patient monitoring is that the patient can now replace a long way to doctor's office with a quick check-in, data share, and instructions on how we proceed. So IoT bridges the gap between reading devices and delivering healthcare by creating systems rather than just equipment. And coming to smart cities. So problems faced by cities such as like waste control management, traffic management, water resource management, housing issues, and pollution's impact, like different cities with different intensities. So one such problem consistent among most urban cities is traffic. So image an intelligent device like a camera that monitor a road, traffic jam, accidents, etc., and communicate that statics through a gateway. So now this gateway also receives data from other various cameras around the cities. So this in itself could form a city-wide traffic system. So where we can use it? So now let's say municipal corporation has decided to repair a road which connects to the highway for more than one city. Just imagine. Now this could cause a massive congestion, right? So A smart camera could send this insight to the city-wide traffic system. Now considering this is a smart traffic system. It quickly learns and predicts patterns and traffic. So it will analyze the situation and predicts its impact and release this information to other cities that connect to the highway through their own monitoring system. So now the traffic management system then can derive routes for cars around this. So live instructions could be sent to the drivers through radio channels or by the respective smart devices. So now coming to agriculture. So manual handling often results loss of energies, labor costs and other inaccuracies which make all of it process less effective, right? So IoT here provides a number of solutions like precision farming, smart irrigation and smart greenhouse. There is a sensor detecting various parameters at each level of soil. We have moisture content, temperature and weather condition. So one can tell the correct depth to plant the crop or the right time to water them. To smart greenhouse. First, what is a greenhouse? So greenhouse is the farming technique where you can increase yield by controlling natural parameters. So if we use embedded devices in this greenhouse, we could not only just monitor it regularly, but we could practically control the climate inside the greenhouse. So how this system works is that the sensor sends various parameters and area of issues inside the greenhouse. Then they relay the information through the connection gateway to the cloud. Then they relay the information through the connection gateway to the cloud, which then sends the remote commands through the same gateway back to the sensors. Which then sends the remote commands. So once these signals are acknowledged, they are passed on to the switch gears, which then activate like lighting, pumps and turbines inside the greenhouse, which then create an artificial sunlight and sometimes artificial precipitations inside the greenhouse. And what more? From the connection gateway, there is a monitor through which 24/7 real-time monitoring has come into effect. So you could use any smart device to remote the condition inside the greenhouse. So with elimination of irregularities and human errors, this creates a much more efficient system. And coming to industrial automation, there are still few problems that are needed to be addressed in this sector. The IoT improves the line of command immensely. It optimizing packaging and make quality test, and you don't need to worry about training cost of too much staff or like lot of staff going on a holiday, because these factories pretty much run on their own. And also you can monitor the supply chain in real time while keeping an eye on your inventories. With IoT application, one could even re-engineer product and their packaging to deliver better performance in both cost and customer experience. At last, disaster management. So, the IoT cannot stop disasters from happening, right? But it sure can help in preparedness during one. Due to high population density, poor evacuation infrastructure and like exposure to severe weather conditions, developing countries are more exposed to the risk of natural disaster and often have limited means to sustain the effects. As a consequence, like according to study, more than 95% of all the death which is caused by disaster occur developing countries. So IoT can compensate for this by prediction, by preparedness, by response and recovery to rescue and emerging and developing countries from the vulnerable position. So let me give you an example for like forest fire where IoT could be used as a solution. So sensors are installed near the parameters of the forest. They could contribute to the data feed about like temperature, carbon emissions to the control room. which is common to the entire term. This is done via secured gateway in real time. So they anticipate problems and put defenses in place to mitigate the impact, namely the police, the nearby hospitals, or like most importantly the fire station. If such an emergency occurs in near urban areas, peoples and communities are alerted through social media or like conventional media channels and SMS. So this is all about applications of IoT. So in this workshop, I just gave an introduction about IoT. So if you want to do further IoT classes and IoT related all the things in this, we will provide internships or we will provide masterclass. You can join in that and you can get to know more about the IoT. That's all about this today's workshop. So on coming September 16th, we are going to float a masterclass which is based on BMS, battery management system. If you want the details in the sense, we can provide, we already provided in the description box. You can go for that. And if you are interested in the sense, you can go and register for that free masterclass which is going to held at 30 days, which is based on battery management system. And also if you want to do further classes in IoT in the sense, we will provide internships, masterclass in future classes. You can join that. So thank you all for joining in this free workshop. Have a great day. Thank you.